Welcome to Wasitora, Jundam out. As far as opening hand goes, yeah, we're going to keep on this one. I like that. We have Sheltered Thicket. We have 2 lands in our hand. We have 3 visits. Also have Mana Vault, which is going to be really nice. And then, oof, it's a pretty good opening hand. I like it. Board wipe, ramp, card draw. This is everything that you want in a Jund deck, or Jund opening hand. Do we want to get down? Sheltered Thicket's going to enter the battlefield tapped. So let's go and get that down. That way it does keep us online for Night's Whisper, and then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn to our... Come back here, Wasitora. There we go. Pass the turn to our opponent. We're playing Wasitora, Jundam out Cat Dragon token time. Hope you're excited to get those Cat Dragons going. They're actually pretty cute. So, let's go and get down Misty and draw into Tri-Builder. So we get down Misty. We're only going to be able to add 1 green to it. Actually, let's do this. Let's go and crack Misty. We're going to get a black source off of that. We're going to go for 3 visits at this point right now. And then next turn we'll go. I think we can get down Mana Vault, but let's just see if our opponent wants to catch up on mana or something. I don't like to go off too quick on our opponent sometime. Let's go and go for 3 visits. That way we'll get that land on the battlefield. But I think we could sequence it to where if we got down Mana Vault, we could go just a little bit quicker. And then let's go and grab a black... I guess black-green sounds pretty good. Yeah, we're going to grab Overgrown Tomb, have that come into play tapped. I'm not going to pay 2 life. Nope. We are good. And we'll kick it over to our opponent. So we're playing Wasitora. Flying and Trample. Whenever Wasitora deals combat damage to a player, that player sacrifices a creature. If that player can't, you create a 3/3 black, red, and green cat dragon creature token with flying. And our opponent does get down Diligent Excavator, which, if they are playing kind of a combo style deck, that's definitely a really good card to get down. Let's go and get down Tri-Builder. Yeah, we can't get down Mana Vault and go for Night's Whisper. Let's do that. Let's go and get down Mana Vault. I'm glad that we did draw him to go for the throat. Toxic Deluge is nice in a matchup like this to kind of clean it up just a little bit. But let's go and go tap down a little bit of extra colorless mana. Let's go for Tri-Builder. Tap down for 1 green, and then we'll use that last color, floating mana, to go for Night's Whisper. I guess technically, if we wanted to, we could go for Sword of Feast and Famine. Yeah, let's go and go for Night's Whisper. I want to see if we can't hit the land drop for next turn. All right, let's go for Night's Whisper, Vampiric Tutor, then Damnation. All right, then we'll go and pass the turn to our opponent. We're playing against Jhoira, Weatherlight Captain. Whenever you cast a historic spell, draw a card. Now, if you haven't seen Jhoira before, she is a lot of fun. You can get down just an insane amount of card draw. And also, the cool thing with Diligent Excavator is that whenever you cast an historic spell, target player puts the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard. I got it confused with one of the... Basically, one of the ways that you can really combo off of Jhoira is by having a special... kind of a utility creature on the battlefield for the deck that allows you to kind of filter a little bit extra card draw as you start swinging in. Let's go ahead and chump block with Tri-Builder. And we'll go and crack Tri-Builder before we go to combat damage. And let's go and grab a Mountain. There we go. Have Mountain come into play, and then kick it back over to us. We're going to go ahead and pay for Mana Vault. Yeah, we're going to pay 4. That way we can untap it. That puts us online for going for Wasitora and a few other things. And we draw the Dragon Lord, a Tarka. Okay, kick it back over to our opponent. But yeah, so you get down Jhoira, get down one of those creatures that allows you to kind of help filter some of your card draw. And then it really allows you to start digging through your deck and kind of go for some sort of combo win. Now, if you haven't seen it before, I have some on my channel. Type in Jhoira Jolt, and you'll be able to see some of them. And it's... fun deck to play. We kind of win by going for Storm, and we'll see what else they've got going on, but as you can tell, it's just casting a bunch of 0-cost artifacts. Now, what we'll probably end up doing going for next turn is probably going for Damnation. I think that might be pretty good. Unless we want to leave up Vampiric Tutor for something. Not going to pay for Mana Vault. We are good, Mana Vault. Thank you. And then we draw into Swamp. Let's go and get down Swamp. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. Because we did hit the land drop for the turn, so Damnation or Toxic, either way we're okay. So let's just go for a little bit of a reset. And that'll still put us online for Vampiric Tutor to go for. So we'll go for Damnation, destroy all creatures that can't be regenerated. That'll send it back over to the command zone, and then we'll go and pass the turn. We could get down Sword of Feast and Famine with Mana Vault, but we're just going to go and leave that mana up at this point right now, and then see if we can't utilize it to our best ability. We are looking at something like Dragon Lord of Tarka coming down, which is going to be 5 damage to their creature. So even if they do get down their commander again, play the top card of your library reveal. Yeah, let's go ahead and go for Vampiric Tutor in response to that. I'm pretty sure, I hope, I have some... This is a Jund deck. I'm going to fill... No, we do have Pulse. Okay, good. Sometimes I'm notorious for not putting Artifact or Enchantment Destruction in some of my decks sometimes. And that's going to be Artifact or Creature. Let's go and grab Pulse. Where are you? There we go. We'll grab Pulse. That'll allow us to take care of Future Sight and to kind of hopefully kind of stop any sort of shenanigans from our opponent and getting a lot of really good stuff going. All right, not going to pay for Mana Vault. But this is one of the fun things about playing Wasitora is it really does kind of play out like a Jund-style deck you would be playing in Modern. Let's go ahead and go tap down for Maelstrom Pulse. Take care of that. And then anything else? No, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. We are still online for Go for the Throat, so if they do end up making the land drop and getting down Jhoira, we can go for the Throat to take care of that. But this is pretty much what you want to do with Wasitora. You know, get some really nice board control, go for a board wipe, get down Wasitora. Then once you start swinging with Wasitora and dealing that combat damage to your opponent, get those cat dragon tokens. Pretty much, you know, if you're new to Magic or you haven't really played a lot of in the Jund colors, what Jund wants to do is kind of get some 2-for-1s. So we swing in with Wasitora, we make sure that they sacrifice a creature, and then we get ourselves a cat dragon token on the battlefield. So, you know, basically we just want to create it to where we get some really nice board presence, like really control the board, and then start just generating some extra value where we can. You know, different stuff like Dragon Lord Atarka entering the battlefield and taking care of a creature. So just little different things like that. Opponent's going to get down Crane, which is going to make it a little bit complicated for Wasitora to swing across, but we'll still go ahead and get her down. And we'll still leave up Go for the Throat at this point right now. We are pretty far away from Vana's Hunger. So we can just straight up just tap down for Wasitora and leave up Mana Vault. Now, if we end up going for Dragon Lord Atarka, that's going to clean up Jhoira and, yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and go for that. That'll be 7 total mana. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. That'll be pretty oppressive, but let's go ahead and go for it. And we'll go and tap one more. It's going to be 5 damage on any number of creatures they control. So that's going to take care of Jhoira and Crane. Now, what they can do is they can activate Welding Jar in response to this damage. So let's go and do, we don't want to send all 5. And there we go. Tick that up to 3. 3 and 2. There we go. All right. That's going to be split across. Dragon Lord Atarka is going to spit some of that fire over there. They can activate Welding Jar in response to that, so they will activate that on the Jhoira's Familiar, and they'll go and pass the turn. Now, the good thing about Dragon Lord Atarka is it's not our commander, but it's got a pretty sizable threat on the battlefield. Flying and trample and an 8/8, so we can really kind of start pushing on our opponent with this 8 damage in the air. Now, hopefully, they're going to be able to start drawing a bunch of cards, so we'll see what's going to happen on this one. In fact, I don't want to keep rambling if they start cycling through their deck. So what I'll probably end up doing is right now is let them start casting a bunch of their artifacts, and then I'll pause the commentary if something happens. Okay, opponent does pass the turn, and then they did search that Paradox Engine off of Fabricate, so we do survive at least one turn. Not going to pay 4 for Mana Vault, no, because we want to end up going for Toxic Deluge. Hopefully we get the land drop. That'd be really nice, and that'll put us online for Vana's Hunger if we need it. So we draw into Dragon Lord Servant, and we're going to take that 1 damage. But yes, they did search up Paradox Engine, so it's going to get pretty nutty here in a second. Let's go ahead and swing across for 8. And then we'll end up doing, yeah, you will go for Toxic Deluge. That way it'll kind of cut them off any sort of extra value they can get going. And then also keep us online for Go for the Throat. So let's go and swing across for 8. Put our opponent down to 23. Let's go for Toxic Deluge. And we're going to have to need to pay 3 on this one. Is there any sort of power toughness bonus I'm missing out there? They can't equip it. Yeah, so we're just going to go and pay 3 life on this. And that's also what makes Toxic Deluge so good in a Jund-style deck or something like this. You know, you care about your life total. You want to preserve your life total, but being able to use your life total to kind of help clean up the board for only 3 mana is absolutely worth it. All right, anything else? No, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. And actually, now that I think about it, I think we might have been able to get down Sword of Feast and Famine and did a little bit extra damage. Sorry. For some reason, this may sound goofy, but like if the card's over to the left, like the way my field of vision is when I'm delivering commentary, I forget about like the very furthest card to the left. So if you've ever seen my videos and you're like, oh, Joe, why didn't you do that? And it's the furthest left card. Hey, it's a little behind the scenes tip that sometimes I miss that for some reason. I don't know why. It drives me nuts. I'll get people saying different things and I'm like, oh, that drives me bananas. All right, so we do have Go for the Throat, destroy target non-artifact creature. I think we'll probably end up going for that. Yeah, I hate to be super oppressive, but this is what this deck's about, is making sure the board's clear for us to swing across. Not going to pay for Mana Vault. It's going to be 1 damage. And drawn to Blood Mist. You know what? Yeah, let's go and go for Sword of Feast and Famine. It's going to be able to untap our lands. We'll just be able to get in for a little bit of extra damage. And also make them discard a card out of their hand, too. So let's go and equip that on to Dragonlord Atarka. And then our opponent almost tapped down, so I'm kind of worried about some sort of bounce spell. Let's go and swing across for 10. That'll put them down to 13 if this goes through, but they did started to tap down in response to that Sword of Feast and Famine. So let's see what they're, if they have some sort of response or not. Okay, it's going to make them discard a card. Apparently they don't. That's going to put them down to 13. And then untap our lands, leaving us online for Vana's Hunger. In fact, let's go and get down a Dragonlord's Servant. And then I'll leave up Vana's Hunger. That way, if they do end up getting down Jhoira, we can at least cast that in response to some sort of artifact and kind of complicate some sort of game plan for them. All right, anything else, we'll go and pass the turn to our opponent. And I love Dragonlord Servant. This is such a fun little card. Gain 5 life, shuffle into their library. Okay. Well, I mean, it's basically just a tribal reducer for dragons, but like the card art on it and the fact that he's like bringing all this stuff to Dragonlord Servant, I don't know. It's just, I just want to know more about that little goblin shaman. I don't know, he seems like a cool little dude. All right, so let's see what our opponent's tapping down for. Paradox Engine, okay. And we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're actually 1 away from getting the Vana's Hunger online for City's Blessing, so hopefully if they get down Jhoira first, if they have that mana, then we can kind of start to go from there. We did get lucky that one turn they started casting a lot of artifacts. I was really worried about some sort of storm count coming down. And see, this is where it gets really good with Jhoira, is this is the type of creature that you need to have on the battlefield to really kind of start filtering some of your card draw. So even if we do end up going for Vana's Hunger, catching either Artificer's Assistant or Jhoira will definitely be really good to us, and especially with something like Paradox Engine on the battlefield. So in fact, let's go ahead and go for it now. We'll go and go for Vana's Hunger, because it's still, Artificer's Assistant has just as much power as Jhoira, having both of those on the battlefield. So definitely don't mind taking, I know it seems kind of support a little bird. It's funny, it's kind of like the elephant being scared of a rat or something like that, but hey, got to take care of that Artificer's Assistant. Not going to pay for Mana Vault. They're drawn to Explosive Vegetation. Let's go ahead and go for Explosive, well actually if we end up going for Double Strike, yeah, let's go and do that. Let's go for Double Strike. I thought about going for Explosive Vegetation and getting some untap and getting down Wasitora, but if we get down Blood Mist and we give Dragonlord Atarka, there we go. All right, opponent's going to scoop it up. So we get down Blood Mist, and I got really worried for a second because I always forget about Sword of Feast and Famine giving protection from our stuff too, but it's black and green on Sword of Feast and Famine, so we are in the clear. So what's going to happen is we get down Blood, and also a good game to our opponent. This was, it's not fun when you're playing in Jhoira and your opponent just has a ton of removal. That's never fun to play against, so definitely shout out to our opponent for sticking this one out. I greatly appreciate that. But basically what's going to happen is we have Dragonlord Atarka sitting on the battlefield as a 10-10. We get down Blood Mist. Creatures you control gain Double Strike, or target creature you control gains Double Strike until end of turn. Swing across with Dragonlord Atarka, 10-10 trample. That's going to be double Sword of Feast and Famine triggers. Mainly getting the life total down to -2, which is exactly enough for us to win the game. So we're able to kind of keep Jhoira in check, and especially with that Future Sight. I don't know, they got shuffled back in, but getting that pulse down definitely made a big difference in making sure that they couldn't kind of start filtering through their library. So if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.